Hello and welcome, whether you are returning or joining this channel for the first time. It is so good to have you. Before we dive into today's video, I do have to address a couple of things here. First, it's obviously been a while since I've uploaded. For those of you who aren't aware, I actually had a pretty severe migraine attack at the end of March and beginning of April, and that's why I didn't post any readings last month. I really tried to get stuff out to all of you, and even after the migraine attack, I was in what's called a postdrome or migraine hangover, and it was really just difficult to express myself, and that's actually what I was having before I had my attack as well. So hopefully if this ever does happen to me again, this was the first time it's ever happened, I'll at least be able to know the signs. However, this sort of does lead me into the second announcement that I feel like I need to make. I really do feel that moving forward, I am going to separate the tarot and astrology into different videos for the signs. So I will still be uploading, and in fact, potentially uploading more. But it really just became very apparent with this migraine attack that I've put myself under so much stress and strain, and I've really tried to fit everything into these neat little boxes, and honestly, it's very challenging for me to do, and I feel like moving forward, I would really like to go back kind of to the root of where I began, where it was more of an intuitive style read, while still also using astrology as well, because I do feel like they're both very useful tools that can help orient a lot of things for us. And so I think sometimes too these messages can get just like repetitive, and of course I feel like whenever I do a tarot reading, it's always going to incorporate astrological elements anyways. That's just how my brain works. But I think it's nice to kind of dial that back and just let that more flow in naturally. So that might be something that may not even be much of a big deal to all of you. Maybe it's just kind of a bigger deal to me because I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I appreciate all the support that you have given this channel, and actually a lot of people did reach out to me, ask me how I was doing, and I really, really appreciate that. If you would like to support this channel, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification. That not only helps you stay up to date with what's in the cards for you, but it also helps spread these messages and energies that you may think be helpful for other people. So they're kind of your tools as well. And I do have a link in the description of this video for my website where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. I just have to say, I feel very honored by the Aries watching this reading because I feel like a lot of you are very special souls. As I was just tuning into your energy and shuffling the deck, I did have a couple of cards already fall out here, and the first one was the Eight of Pentacles. And this is often the card of hard work and dedication. Maybe you've been working on a specific project or goal, but it felt like something much bigger. You know, this didn't just feel like a worldly thing. And it was actually confirmed to me when I saw the star come out here as well. You are really dialing into your spiritual purpose or calling in this life. That is something that you have been doing recently, and really wanting to make tangible steps towards this, or making plans to kind of implement this vision or really explore this calling. Now, as beautiful and wonderful as the star is, it's actually one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. It is a card that's more about a sense of direction than an actual roadmap. And this kind of makes sense because in times of antiquity, stars were very often used as navigational points, but we didn't know what actually was on the road ahead of us. And similarly, Aries, you've kind of been working towards something almost like a project of faith or a mission of faith, of goodwill. And it does feel like you are trying to be of service to others as well. The star does represent Aquarius energy. I am really curious to see what else we have in store for you, but we've had some pretty interesting and intense energy take place in the last month for you. We actually had an eclipse in your sign at the end of March, We had Mercury retrograde in your sign throughout most of April, and there's still some pretty big players throughout the month of May that are playing out in the sign of Aries. We do actually have your ruling planet Mars, so there's still a lot of energy that is passing through you right now. And it does feel like there's actually a big emphasis on healing. The star often does represent healing, sometimes even energy healing or emotional healing. And you do have Chiron in your sign that is being very activated by these different planets. And if I'm not mistaken, the eclipse in your sign at the end of March was actually conjunct Chiron as well. So there's a lot about healing and really overcoming your own insecurities as well. Maybe even needing to leave something old and familiar behind to go in the direction of something new. Oh my God, Six of Swords is actually perfect because this is literally a card of someone who is in transition. You don't necessarily know what lies ahead of you. You see this land, you see this calmer water. You just know that you have to move forward. And you have been very much listening to your intuition, or that is the advice that is being given to you, because some of you are doubting yourselves. And maybe you even need to leave certain situations or relationships behind that fill you with doubt, or people who might try to talk you down from something. And it kind of does feel like you've been off working on your own with something, which is interesting because this does feel like there's something about connecting with humanity on a larger scale for you, Aries. Wow. And the Ace of Pentacles. You are making a new beginning for yourself. I just have to tell you, any of you who are trying to make a new job or start a new platform, whatever it is that you are creating, I feel like you have a lot of power and potential to be successful here with the Ace of Pentacles. This can also be an increase in abundance as well. This May, we actually do have a lot happening for you financially, potentially. So it does feel like there is some money coming in. We have a new moon in Taurus on the 7th. This could be a really great time to manifest some money. But we actually have, the same day as the full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, Venus, the planet of beauty, love, abundance, coming together with Jupiter, which is all about expansion, wisdom, and this kind of elevation. And with these two benefic planets coming together in the sign of Taurus, there really is this potential for a lot of new beginnings for you financially, or an increase in abundance. It feels like the new beginnings in your life are just very stable and steady. What's really interesting about this Jupiter-Venus conjunction, actually, this is happening at the last degree in the sign of Taurus, the 29th degree, which is a critical degree. So there is a lot of power here, and being that last degree, there may be some endings. There may be some things that you are walking away from, but this is still a very, very lucky energy. And with the full moon being in Sagittarius, which is the sign that is ruled by Jupiter, or one of the signs ruled by Jupiter, it feels like a very lucky day, a very lucky energy overall for the collective. And it's also a really great day for manifestation, or even manifestations coming true. So that's kind of a really beautiful thing about May. It's actually arguably one of the luckiest, if not the luckiest day of the entire year, with that full moon in Sagittarius and the Jupiter-Venus conjunction. Whenever that happens, it can be a very blessed time or blessed energy if you tap into it. And I feel like, Aries, you have been going in the direction of what is right for you, what is aligned for you, and maybe even leaving something behind that felt kind of stable or steady, but you are going to really see some abundance, or some sort of sign of growth in the month of May. I really feel that for a lot of you. Interesting. Wow. So astrologically speaking, there really is a lot of beautiful energy here. End of the month, we do also have Mercury and Uranus coming together in the sign of Taurus. Mercury is the mind, communication. Uranus is actually known as the higher octave of Mercury. So it's kind of like the higher mind, the higher calling, the star coming together with the conscious mind, a meeting of minds. And so this could also be indicating some very surprising or unexpected news regarding finances or even regarding something that you value. Honestly, Aries, I feel like there's a lot of abundance here for you this month. An abundance that is coming through something that you really love or feel like you can just put yourself into and kind of get into this flow very easily. What is this thing that you're working on? What is this thing that Aries is being called to do? Interesting. Okay. Wow. So I definitely do think there are situations or even individuals that you are walking away from with the Five of Swords. We already talked about that with the Six of Swords, but often with the Five of Swords, there are egos that are being inflamed, there are power struggles, and you kind of just need to walk away, sometimes cut your losses even in certain scenarios. And as beautiful as the astrology is in May, there is a lot of potential for this drama and conflict and bruised egos. And the way that people respond to that is going to kind of vary between person to person. But I do feel like there's going to be a lot of agitation or tension that comes up this month, just because we do have Mars, Mercury, the North Node, and Chiron all being very active this month in the sign of Aries, which in a very general sense can be kind of a bit of a fiery, angry energy for the collective, not necessarily for you. And it might even kind of be directed at you because it's playing out in your sign. But honestly, Aries, you are actually harnessing this energy. You are not wasting your energy on people who aren't right for you or aligned for you. And we do actually have the Judgment card here as well. Some of you are actually returning to things or people that you walked away from. Maybe there is something that you were reviewing or digesting from an old experience. Some of you may have actually walked away from your calling, and you are now coming back to it. Something has happened, something has shifted. And with the North Node in your sign, which is just one of the places the eclipses occur, the South Node is always in the opposite sign, in this case in Libra, through the rest of the year. And we had that Libra solar eclipse at the beginning of April. But you yourself really are feeling called, and you're kind of leading the collective in a way. And this applies whether you're an Aries sun, moon, or especially rising, but really anyone with Aries placements is feeling this call to ascend, this call to go back to your soul, to your spirit, maybe even walking away from old versions of yourself or inauthentic versions of yourself. There's a lot of stepping away to step up. Interesting. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I do feel like finances have actually been a concern for some of you, or logistics at the very least with this Four of Pentacles. And I mean, ultimately, you've been okay. You've survived. Four of Pentacles can sometimes indicate scarcity, but it's like you can kind of make it through. And I feel like you've kind of been... You've been getting by, Aries, but I do feel like there is this increase. There's definitely some new abundance here. And again, this feels like abundance coming in through doing something that you love, something that feels very aligned. Wow. Okay. Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords coming out together. Yes, I do feel like some of you felt stuck in a financial situation or felt stuck by limited resources. This could even just be limiting beliefs as well. And it made you hold on to things that felt stable or gave you even just a little bit of security. But oftentimes with the Eight of Swords, it's kind of a self-imposed prison, at least on some level. And so you're really seeing things from a different perspective. You're kind of taking off this blindfold here and maybe recognizing the ways that you have held yourself back by holding on to things that really aren't meant for you anymore. And this does kind of feel like past energy, but for some of you, maybe this is something that you're kind of sorting through this month as well. So maybe comment, where are you along this journey? I definitely feel like regardless of where you're at, there is a very important calling with the Star and also with Judgment. Both of these cards really do speak about purpose and kind of like spiritual destiny. So I do feel like a lot of you are really trying to move in that direction. Any other messages for Aries this month? Okay, now we're just kind of repeating ourselves. Eight of Cups, walking away, seeking your happiness elsewhere. And the Eight of Cups is one of these cards that's actually very interesting because it varies a lot between different tarot decks. And I felt very intuitively drawn to work with this deck. I always feel out which deck to use in these readings. And so this Eight of Cups, these 8 cups are still standing. They're not knocked over, they're not broken like they are in some other decks, but there's still this need to walk away, to look for that 9 of Cups, that happiness, that harmony of the 10 of Cups. There's still this seeking. Something is not quite whole or complete. And that's what I'm sort of getting here. Maybe even with this Eight of Pentacles, you've been very focused on work in the past or just kind of building up stability in your life. But it feels like there is something now where you are ready to move forward. And we do actually have Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and Eight of Cups. So 888, that is a very, very powerful number. 8 is all about power. And sometimes there are some challenges, but it's about overcoming things with this number. And with the Eight of Cups, again, this is just one of the cards that's about walking away. Six of Swords, Five of Swords. There's a lot of cards where it's like, yeah, you've had to leave a lot of things behind you. And it feels like you've kind of just been wandering through the desert and you're like, was I crazy to do this? Did I make a mistake? And it's like, as you are starting to doubt yourself and doubt your purpose, it feels like there is a sign. It feels like there is new life. Anything else for Aries? I think I'm going to pull one more tarot card here, and then I would love to see some oracle messages for you. We have the Eight of Wands. All of the 8s are now on the table here. This is the card for the future, which is about things taking off very quickly and unexpectedly. Maybe there is quite literally some travel for some of you as well. Actually, interestingly, the full moon in Sagittarius could even be indicating some sort of journey or the completion of a journey, actually, for a lot of you. And maybe there is this return to someplace or going to someplace. Normally full moons do signify endings, but I actually feel like with this particular one, being on the same day that Jupiter and Venus are coming together, it feels like there is a lot of abundance. There is this kind of manifesting potential here. So some of you may be going on a very important journey, something that is like life-changing or something that's very significant. Especially for those of you who are looking at things like meditation retreats or spiritual retreats, maybe even learning an energy healing modality as well, something that's going to help you on your spiritual purpose or spiritual path, because I do feel like I mean, it's such a cliche term, but I feel like I am connecting with a lot of light workers here. Like, there is a mission, and you have been on this mission a lot longer than you even realize. You've still been gaining skills that you are going to be using, even if you don't understand how they're going to be applied now. You haven't messed up. You didn't miss anything. You did need to kind of step away from it for a little bit, but you are now coming back to this calling. And it really is like just in the moment before you're about to succeed, the urge to quit is the greatest. The urge to give up is the greatest. And I feel like there is this need to persevere. I am getting that for some of you, but have faith in yourself, have faith in your calling. So really want to pull an animal card for you. This might also kind of give us more of a sense of like what specifically this direction is that you are moving in. What are the animal energies for Aries? What are the animal energies for Aries? Show us clearly, please. Thank you. Show us clearly, please. I knew it. Golden egg. This is the heart chakra. And I just see this golden egg. I see this light. You are meant to work from the heart. You are meant to inspire compassion in other people and to connect them with their own heart. And you have been in this journey of at one point being disconnected from your heart, from your soul. But you are now coming back to this, and I'm looking at this nest, this home. You are coming home to yourself, to your spirit. And this is something that you are going to be teaching other people to do as well. And there's not even necessarily one way to do this. Some of you may be working as healers. Some of you may be working as intuitives. Some of you may be working as creatives. Some of you may even be working as something that's not like any of these things, but there's still this intense meaning. And ultimately, it's like when we do the things that we love, that light us up, that fill our hearts, that energy radiates. That does change people. I really, really do believe that. And, I even feel like when people seek me out for a reading, it's like, yes, they're getting some guidance, they're getting some clarity on things, but on a deeper level, there's this energetic exchange that goes on, that takes place. And it's not even me doing energy work, although I do energy work with people as well, but there's just this kind of alchemy between my energy and this person's energy coming together. And we both grow, we both catalyze each other's in different ways. And that's what I'm really getting with this golden egg. You catalyze people just by being authentic to your heart. And a lot of people talk about the heart chakra as being the seat of love. A lot of people think of this as romantic love, but to me that's actually more of the sacral chakra. The heart chakra is about your love for humanity. It's your philanthropy. It's that interconnection between you and other people and other beings. And you are becoming a master of the heart, or you are mastering the heart, or just helping people come back into that energy for themselves. I don't even feel... I'll pull one more card just for the sake of it, but I think ultimately a lot of the time when people come for these readings, what they're really looking for is a feeling anyway. They're looking for that confirmation, that affirmation, that kind of fire in their chest. Even if it's not always a positive or easy reading, it's like, well, at least I know what I need to do now, or how I can respond to this. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's like this isn't really about the message so much as it is about you connecting to your heart. That is kind of the message. Trusting in where your heart is leading you, you will not be disappointed. Interesting. We do have the octopus here as well. It does feel like there is kind of this vampiric energy around a lot of you. And sometimes with the octopus, it's like someone who's very perceptive and even quite intuitive or just very intelligent, analytical. Octopuses are very brilliant and intelligent animals. But very often with this energy, with this card, this is also a person who lacks boundaries. So this is a person who's very perceptive, but can become vampiric without necessarily intending to. And to them, being close is having no boundaries. And that's not the same thing. And that's actually why it's been challenging for you to connect with your heart, Aries. Because at some point in your life, you thought to be loving, to be from your heart, it meant having no boundaries. But that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing at all. Love is about respect and reciprocity. And so you can love and have boundaries. And in fact, it is loving to have boundaries. But I do feel like there may be some people that you need to distance yourself from or have like very clear boundaries drawn. But honestly, with this energy, it can be very hard for those to stick with this person. Maybe it sticks for a couple weeks or even a month, but then old patterns come back is what I'm getting. And it feels like there has been someone who, not even necessarily on a super obvious or conscious level, but it feels like maybe they're holding you back because they're afraid of losing you if you go in the direction of your calling. Which is kind of sad, but actually even these people who cling to others, they're really looking for the connection with their own heart, or they can find that connection in their own heart. Very, very interesting, Aries. This feels like a very kind of esoteric reading. I feel like a lot of this is very mysterious. It's more about affirming what you already know. So I would love to hear from all of you in the comments. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far into the reading. I always love to hear people. I love to see people get excited about these energies, and supporting this channel also helps this reach other people who need to hear it as well. You can find a link in the description of this video for my website where you can book a personal reading or Reiki healing session with me, as well as all of my other social media accounts. And finally, you're more than welcome to check out the other videos on my channel, maybe looking for your moon or rising sign. There may be some messages there for you as well. And that is everything I have, Aries. I'm wishing you a very happy and blessed May.